Picture this. You are driving home after a long day, doing everything you think is right, following the speed limit, wearing your seatbelt, minding your own business. And then, just like that, you get pulled over. Or worse, a fine drops through your letterbox, or you check the post one morning and there it is, a notice telling you that your license is under review. You have not been reckless. You have not been dangerous. But you have broken one of the new rules that most drivers in the United Kingdom do not even know exist yet. And that is exactly why we are here today. The DVLA and the UK government have rolled out a fresh wave of driving rules in 2026 that are already in effect or coming into force within the next few weeks. These are not proposals sitting on someone's desk waiting to be approved. These are real, confirmed changes that are shaping how driving is regulated, monitored, and enforced across the country right now. And if you are not up to speed, and I do not say that lightly, you could find yourself facing fines, penalty points, or even losing your license altogether. So stay with me, because today we are breaking down four of the biggest new DVLA driving rules that start today or very shortly, what they mean for you, how they are being enforced, and what you absolutely must do to stay legal and protect your license. Whether you have been driving for 2 years or 20, this video applies to you. Let us get into it. The first rule that is catching drivers completely off guard is the crackdown on outdated and incorrect personal details on your driving license, and it is being enforced in a way that was simply not possible before 2026. Here is what has changed. The DVLA has now migrated all its digital driver licensing services to a brand new cloud-based platform. This is not just a technical upgrade behind closed doors. It means that the DVLA systems are now directly linked to enforcement databases in real time. The automatic number plate recognition cameras you see on motorways and in town centers, those ANPR cameras, are now operating with upgraded technology that can cross-reference your plates against the DVLA database almost instantly. What does that mean for you? It means that if your address on your driving license does not match your current address, if your name has changed and you have not updated it, or if your medical information is out of date, you are now at far greater risk of being flagged. This has always been a legal requirement. You have always been obligated under the Road Traffic Act to keep your license details current. But the enforcement mechanism simply was not this sharp before. Now it is. Drivers who fail to update their personal details could face fines of up to £1,000. That is not a rumour. That is confirmed. And with the gov.uk wallet and digital license rollout already in its pilot phase, the government is actively pushing drivers to get their details right and keep them updated digitally. If you moved house in the last year and have not updated your license, stop what you are doing after watching this video and go to the gov.uk website to sort it out. It takes minutes and it could save you a 4-figure fine. The second rule is one that directly threatens your license if you are age 65 or over, and it is being introduced with a level of seriousness that makes it very clear the government means business. The DVLA has launched a stricter medical declaration process for license renewals. Now, to be very clear, there is no automatic ban at 65. That is a myth and it needs to be put to rest right now. But what has changed is how you prove you are fit to drive when renewing your license. The days of simply ticking a box and moving on are over. From January 2026 onwards, the renewal process for older drivers involves far more detailed medical questioning. Conditions like diabetes, epilepsy, and heart conditions now require proper documentation and, in many cases, the involvement of your GP or healthcare provider. In fact, the DVLA is actively developing a system where opticians and doctors can submit their findings directly to the DVLA, bypassing the old self-declaration route entirely. This comes in the wake of a national consultation and a series of coroner reports where untreated eyesight decline was found to have contributed to fatal road collisions. The government is not playing around here. There is also a proposal, which is very close to being confirmed, that drivers aged 70 and over will need to pass a compulsory eyesight test every 3 years when renewing their license. The consultation on this closed in March 2026 and outcomes are expected very soon. If you are in this age group, or if a parent or grandparent is, please do not ignore this. The consequences of failing to meet the new medical standards during renewal are not a fine. They are the removal of driving entitlements. Certain license categories, particularly those that let you drive larger vehicles, will be automatically removed for drivers who do not complete the updated medical and eyesight checks. This is serious and it needs your attention now. The third rule is one that affects millions of drivers across the country, not just older drivers, not just learners, but every single person behind the wheel. And it comes down to how speed enforcement is now operating on British roads in 2026. You need to understand that the enforcement landscape has fundamentally shifted. The rollout of AI-powered cameras and expanded average speed camera networks is now well underway. These are not just being deployed on motorways. They are going up on rural roads, residential streets, and local roads in towns and cities across the UK. Here is why this matters so much. Average speed cameras do not catch you in one moment of distraction. They measure your speed across a distance, sometimes several miles. So if you accelerate between 2 points and slow down only when you see a camera, that strategy no longer works. The system calculates your average speed across the entire stretch, and if it is over the limit, the notice goes out. And with AI-enabled technology now being used at some sites, the cameras can also detect a broader range of offences including lane discipline, mobile phone use, and seatbelt compliance. The national speed limits have not changed. But enforcement has never been this comprehensive, this consistent, or this automatic. Speeding penalties in the UK currently start at a £60 fine and 3 penalty points, but for serious speeding offences the fine can reach 100% of your weekly income and carry 6 points or even a ban. With cameras now covering roads that were previously unmonitored, the number of people caught is going to increase significantly. Drive to the limit, not above it, and know that on more roads than ever before, you are now always being watched. The fourth rule is one that will catch out a very specific group of drivers, but the consequences are severe enough that everyone needs to be aware of it. It relates to number plates, and it is being enforced with upgraded ANPR technology that can now detect non-compliant plates far more accurately than ever before. This crackdown was triggered by a significant increase in what are being called ghost plates, which are reflective plates specifically designed to obscure or confuse speed cameras. Police forces across the UK have responded to reports from road safety organisations and are now conducting far more roadside checks as a result. What exactly counts as an illegal plate in 2026? The rules are stricter than many drivers realise. Any plate with illegal letter spacing, where letters have been moved to create words or names, is illegal. Any plate with a carbon effect or honeycomb pattern background is banned. Any plate that appears smoked, tinted, or darkened fails the legal standard. And any plate that deviates from the BSAU 145E compliance standard can result in a fine. That fine is £100 and your vehicle will likely be flagged for further checks. If you have a personalised plate and are not sure whether it is legal, now is the time to verify it. The technology being used to spot these plates has never been more accurate, and police are actively looking for them. Now let us step back for a moment and look at the bigger picture of what all four of these rules have in common, because there is something important here that goes beyond just the individual penalties. What the DVLA and the UK government are doing in 2026 is building a more connected, more automated, and more efficient enforcement system. Digital license integration, real-time ANPR cross-referencing, AI-powered cameras, direct data sharing between the DVLA and healthcare providers. Every one of these changes moves the UK road system toward a future where the margin for error is smaller and the consequences of getting things wrong are felt faster. This is not about punishing good drivers. The stated goals are road safety, reducing accidents, modernising the system, and ensuring that every driver on UK roads is genuinely fit, legal, and accountable. And honestly, most of those goals are reasonable. But the reality is that if you do not know what the new rules are, you cannot comply with them. And in a system that is becoming more automated by the day, ignorance is no longer a defense that carries any weight. So let us go over what you need to do right now. First, check your driving license details immediately. Go to gov.uk, log into your driver and vehicle account, and make sure your address, name, and medical information are all current and accurate. Do not wait. The fines for failing to do this are real and they are being applied. Second, if you are 65 or older, or if you have a medical condition that could affect your driving, speak to your GP and make sure your health records are up to date and that you are aware of what the renewal process now involves for your age group. Third, know the speed limits on every road you drive regularly and adjust your driving habits now that enforcement is more widespread and more sophisticated than before. And fourth, check your number plate. If you have a personalized, modified, or aftermarket plate, make sure it fully complies with current legal standards before the next time you take your car out. The rules have changed. Enforcement has changed. And the technology behind catching drivers who are out of compliance has changed. The good news is that staying on the right side of all of this is entirely within your control, as long as you take action now rather than waiting until a fine arrives or your license is put at risk. This is the kind of information that every UK driver needs to hear, and if you found this video useful, the best thing you can do right now is share it with someone you know who drives. A family member, a friend, a colleague, anyone who could benefit from knowing about these changes before they find out the hard way. Staying informed is the first step to staying legal, staying safe, and staying on the road. And if you want to keep getting clear, accurate, up-to-date information on everything that is changing for UK drivers, from new laws and license updates to enforcement changes and road safety news, then please subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. This community is built for drivers who want to stay ahead, stay legal, and stay in control behind the wheel. I will see you in the next one.